I'm Adam Calaway. I'm at Cattle Chat Corner here at NCBA 2014 in Nashville, Tennessee. I've got Dr. Keela Retallick with me. And you're from which university and what do you teach there?
I'm from Cal Poly State University, and I am a ruminant nutritionist by training, and I teach beef cattle production, an advanced beef course, and ruminant nutrition as well.
Well, one of the big topics that's happening in the agriculture industry right now is the subject of animal welfare and our priority of taking care of animals. There's been some commercials out by a fast food, a burrito company that really portrays agriculture as a factory issue. Can you sort of discuss that and your reaction to it?
Yeah, and it's interesting now that I've moved from originally being from the Midwest to California. I get a lot of students who grew up in urban areas that need some foundational knowledge, and it's just not out there for them. And bottom line, as far as animal welfare, we have some of the best producers around as far as they take good care of their animals. Bottom line, they have to for their own well-being, and that's just what they do. And so they take really good care, and these animals, there's reasons why we manage them the way they do, and there's lots of research and lots of data that's been put behind that. So we just need to get that word out that we do things for a reason, and we take really good care of our animals here.
One of the things that we discuss when it comes to animal welfare is animal health. And so animal health is always at the forefront of the industry. Can you sort of walk the consumer through some of the things that we do to ensure animal health?
We have the safest food supply in the nation because of the regulations that we have. And we have a safe, secure food product system, and that's one of the joys of being in the United States.
One of the other issues that we're seeing really discussed right now at NCBA and in the industry as a whole is sustainability. McDonald's has come out and said that they want to use verifiable, sustainable beef beginning in 2016. Would you sort of explain what sustainability means?
Sustainability, to me, is one of those buzzwords that I haven't quite got figured out yet. And I think it's interesting. It's something that everybody wants to hear, but I think our first step in all of this is just to figure out how do we define it. And once we can get that figured out, I think we can move forward. But I think a lot of our producers who are managing land and producing cattle, by definition, taking care of the land, that's taking care of the cattle, that's a form of sustainability to me. So we have to figure out what our definition is before we market that kind of a product.
So let's talk about sort of the economics behind the ag industry right now. We spend less of our disposable income than anybody else, less than 10%, compared to, say, Brazil that spends 25% of their disposable income. Why do we have the cheapest food supply?
We have the cheapest food supply because we have the best producers. They can produce more pounds of meat with less animals and with less resources, less water, which goes back to, less environmental problems. We do a really good job here. And the way that we can do that is through these tools and the science we've developed, using some of the other tools like beta agonists and implants that can be really beneficial to our producers and help us supply the food to everyone that we need at a cheaper cost.
Well, then that brings us to technology a little bit. Technology is one of those words that some people are very much for, and some people are very concerned about. What should the consumer know about our technology and using these technologies when it comes to livestock production?
Right, I think they just need to be educated. And once they figure out, I've been in several situations with students that once they figure out why we implant those animals and we compare it to estrogen levels, in the meat compared to estrogen levels that they eat in their organic cabbage, they start to realize that, it's everywhere, and the fact that we do this really isn't as big a deal, but they just don't understand. So we need to help them to know, we plan this out, it's a safe product, and here's why we do it.
Well, explain that, what you were just saying about the estrogen level that's maybe given versus what's in cabbage. I know that there's been research done on this.
Yeah, so when we talk about implanting beef, right, that's another major issue that a lot of consumers have an issue with. When we look at the levels of estrogen that's actually in the meat due to the fact that we implanted that animal, when we compare the nanograms of estrogen that's in there, it's really minuscule compared to some of our other food sources that you don't even think about because it's occurring there naturally. So there's a lot of our vegetables and things like cabbages and where they have 300 times the amount of estrogen in them, and other food sources like that. So you just have to be aware, and you just have to let them know that really it's only increasing it. I believe it goes from 3 nanograms naturally to 6 nanograms if you eat a cut of implanted beef. So it's not a lot.
3 to 6, but how much is naturally occurring in cabbage?
We just looked this up in class, but it's closer to 500.
So there's no impact. There's no way this stuff can have an impact on human health.
You don't want to say no way. I mean, I think we all need to work together to make sure everyone's, healthy. But we need to present them with the right information, too, so they can make the right choices. Yeah.
Well, the last question that we've been asking everybody here at Cattle Chat Corner is, if you had an opportunity to talk to the consumers in the United States, what would you say to them?
I would tell them, seek out, people at our universities, people who work for these companies, and really get the real facts. I've got students who we go through these media assessment projects all the time. I make them pull ads that they see where they got their information, and we figure out how to get the right information. Me being in a university setting, I know all my colleagues, anyone would be happy to chat with these people and help them out. And we're working really closely with our Cattlemen's Association and the Beef Council to try and get some of these promotional tools out there and available, because they don't know, and it's not really their fault. We need to help them understand that we have a safe, wholesome beef supply, and we want to produce that for them as cheaply as we possibly can. So let's use all the tools that we have and not go backwards with science. Let's keep moving forward.
Dr. Retallick, thank you so much for stopping by Cattle Chat Corner.